My name is Ryan Spence, aka Planet Lucid. You show us the neighborhood, love will almost surely lead. I'm an artist, illustrator, painter. I started off drawing. The first couple things I drew were a lot of bugs, and then after that it was Ninja Turtles. Started doing my own characters, got better at it to the point where I actually wanted to draw other things besides copying comic books. Usually I like to work with acrylic paint just because it dries really fast compared to oils. Regarding brushes, there's a lot of connoisseurs out there. Like, they'll have a very specific brand. They'll only use, like, I don't know, I'll make something up, like camel hair or something like that. I'm not one of those folks, but I do like Winsor Newtons. I just look at some very specific shapes. A lot of times I don't even rely on brushes. I'll use something that I find to create a shape that you can't really get anywhere else, which kind of coincides with creating your own brush in Photoshop. This is like the real version of that. Well, my mom was always supportive, but my dad was like he is an artist. When he actually gave me compliments on my stuff, I was like starting to take it more serious rather than, I guess, the pat on the back from mom, which, you know, was appreciated too. I'm also a designer full-time. I like to look at art treatments and art direction, and a lot of times music is a huge inspiration. This is where 95% of my art begins. You know, it'll be either here, it'll be either in this form rather, or a sentence next to it. This is the current area. This is where I do my pieces, the bigger pieces anyway. After I've already sketched it for a while and I already have like a really clear idea of what's gonna happen once it gets on a canvas or the wood panel. I'll come here, I'll have my sketch set up, and I'll just kind of look back and forth and just go off on the canvas. It really helps to have your original idea like right in front of you. I have my art supplies right here, like a crazy bin of stuff I've collected over the years. I remember how you used to say. It's fantastic. This is a workspace, another workspace that's for smaller pieces. So usually I have like a sketchbook laid up right here, and you know, the canvas or the board right here. And I get my brushes and my paint and water and different palettes and stuff. And it gets really messy, as you can see. Like, the table itself it looks like another piece happened underneath it. This piece, there's no title or anything like that. It was just a drawing that I really liked that was in one of my sketchbooks, and started playing around on the canvas, playing with different materials, or different materials like acrylics and watercolors. So in this, I can't even really tell you how much is in it, how many different colors, just because I was having fun when I made it. And I wanted to do something that was really subtle. It's gonna be a little busy going on. It's like she has fish scales on her neck. Maybe like a bite will be taken out or something like that. Maybe facial tattoos. I don't know where I'm gonna go with it. This piece is basically kind of like a reaction to living in downtown Los Angeles, although you can't really tell right now because there's no buildings in the actual painting yet. It's going to be called The Reminder, and it's basically about the fact that we're a lot detached from nature. We're breathing in ridiculous amounts of carcinogens every day, and you know, a lot of times there's problems that we're dealing with in the city. Physical problems that we don't realize until we step out of Los Angeles or step out of like a major city that has a lot of smog. Regarding the watercolors, these are kind of freestyles, but they are really heavily inspired by photos and of the people I see when I go out. So for example, I'll go somewhere like Venice and it's just flooded with a lot of people, I'll go up and ask them if I could take their photo, and that I'm an illustrator or painter. And 9 times out of 10, they're cool with it. I'm not, posting their photo anywhere. But what I take from that is the cooler features. They might have interesting eye shapes or really cool piercings or a tattoo. I try to do things that are subtle in my pieces, so that way you don't get it like right off the bat. It's kind of like something is like revealed to you, almost like at the end of a conversation, like something makes sense, or you walk away and you're like, oh, I get it now.